Hi, this is another demonstration video just to show you how to connect to the XA desktop to ensure that KxStudent works fully when you're remote. So from any computer, either a UWE build or your own personal computer, and that's a Windows or a Mac it works on, open a web browser, and then if you, in your URL address bar, you type xa.uwe.ac.uk/staff MFA. It's really important that you put the full URL. You can get a remote desktop if you just put that section. However, that doesn't work fully in KxStudent. It looks like it works, but when you try to send an email, it will fail to send. So hit enter. And if you've set up the multi-factorial authorization, that means that you'll get a text on your phone, and that will they'll text you a 6-digit number to put in here. So that's just been sent to my phone. If you tick the box here, that means it won't obviously ask you again for 3 days, but it will do again after that time. And then you click on verify. And then it pops you through to this page where you put in your normal UWE IT logon password. So you'll be presented with this page. This link here will take you through to open your H drive, which is pretty useful if you've just got some files stored there that you need access to. And there's a different way to do that in the email that I've sent to you already. And then this link over here will open the staff desktop. So it will present you with this window, and again this is just your normal UWE logon and password. And this will sign you in and present you with a virtual UWE desktop. Just to note obviously that it is inside a web browser, so that means that it might look a little strange. You've got your start menu down here, but you've also got your own computer start menu here, so it can be a little bit confusing. And 2 taskbars, so one here which is the virtual UWE desktop within a web browser, and then your actual taskbar down here. So once you're in there, from the start menu, you'll notice you don't have Outlook and the usual kind of tools here. I would recommend that you use a separate web browser for your email, and I've done a separate tutorial for that, and there's another link in the email. However, you can run KxStudent from in here. So in the start menu, click on KxStudent Live. The first time you do it, it will download a file like it did when we upgraded KxStudent. And you'll notice that this is actually quicker than a machine that's plugged into the UWE intranet. And then log into KxStudent in your usual way. And from within here, you can open KxStudent and do all of the usual things. Again, this is all inside that web browser. So it's a strange way to go about things, but it definitely works. So I've been running some tests on my student ID number. And when I go into the emails, you'll see a bunch of tests on mine here. So Deb's did a test for me a couple of days ago, and you'll notice here that it failed to send. And that's because it doesn't seem to work on a UWE machine just using KxStudent in the normal way. So you have to log in through this XA desktop, even on a UWE machine, which doesn't appear to make much sense, but that seems to be what's happening. So these emails here that I sent, you can see that it doesn't have the fail to send, and these were done within an XA MFA desktop. I did one from my Mac and one from a Windows laptop, and they all worked fine. The final test that I did was from a UWE laptop at home in normal KxStudent, and it fails to send. So it's critical if you want to use KxStudent in that way. And you can do everything as normal from in here. So when you send a mailing, go to next, choose your email, and put your title, and then when you go to your edit body, some of you will find when this big window opens that the exit button up here is hidden by this bar. If that's the case, you can move this bar. If you click on the section here with the left and right arrow, it switches it to the other side of the screen. So it pops it over here. And then if you want to put it back, you do it again and it pops it back over to there. So that means you can see the X button here to close the email. Or on the edit template bar at the top, if you double click, it will change the size of the window. So it'll make it smaller so that you can see it separately anyway. And then when you go through to send an email, it will successfully send and actually go. Whereas these tests look like they've sent unless you look at that little bit of detail there, which means it hasn't sent. And we've tested that. So I tested it with Yvette, tested it with Debs, tested it with Craig on different platforms into my email to see exactly what happened. So I know that this definitely works. So that's a critical bit of information if you want to use the full extent of kinetics within a web browser. And remember, you're still within a web browser here on your normal PC. So in the background, you could open another window and do your emails. So owa.uwe.ac.uk, and this will take you into your personal inbox. And I've done a little bit of work on this in another tutorial video, and most of you will know what this looks and feels like. But you can do your emails from within here, and the shared inbox emails from within the web browser, and then on the other tab you can have your kinetics running. This desktop window as well will allow you to use your H drive in the normal manner and the S drive, so you can come in this way into the accommodation inboxes, and you can see the admin folders, the UWE prop folders, all the summer folders, etc., etc. So it's a useful tool, but it's just a little bit different to look at. So yeah, any questions, obviously, please give me a shout.